Hi, I'm Lisa from RISD Careers. I've been working with RISD Fulbright visual arts applicants since 2014. It is so exciting watching projects and ideas grow and change and being a part of applicants learning so much from the process itself. Before I jump into portfolio tips, keep in mind that hearing from varied voices through the application development process is especially important when working on grants like Fulbright that aren't solely art specific, even for the portfolio component, which will be reviewed by both artists and non-artists. You have creative professors, mentors, peers who can work with you on how to present your technique. Someone outside your discipline can help you look at your entire package in a different way, and their not being an artist may actually be a benefit. Also, solicit feedback early on in this process. You know from the arts critique environment that everyone will see something a little different. Everyone has a different perspective and agenda, which is great. At the beginning, all voices are important. At the end, your voice is important. This is your voice, your style, your project. I'm going to use RISD Fulbrighter Sasha Asbill's work to support my tips for a compelling visual arts portfolio. Sasha graduated from RISD with a Master's of Architecture. The first time she applied was through architecture. Unfortunately, she didn't get the grant. She applied a second time, but this time her practice had shifted. She decided to bring her arts interests, passions, and skills together and applied through design. The second time she received the award. To provide a little context, for her Fulbright project in Sri Lanka, Sasha proposed to experiment with local botanical dyes and explore dance traditions to collaboratively make hand-woven, hand-dyed costumes, dance costumes. If you are a multidisciplinary artist, you will especially appreciate how Sasha made her case through a cohesive portfolio that highlighted her varied strengths and areas of growth: weaving, apparel, gardening, science, movement, celebration, even architecture. Her project was titled Nature, Textiles, Dance, Interwoven Expression. Keep in mind, there is no one way to do this. There are many ways to create a compelling portfolio. How you will make your unique case will depend on your situation, skills, talent, interests, country choice, and your affiliate's needs and interests. The most important thing is to make thoughtful decisions. Tip number 1, connect to your project and purpose. Focus your portfolio on its fit for your project. Your portfolio should support your proposal and vice versa. Through your portfolio, show you're prepared for the activities of your project. Show you have the skill and talent, show you have transferable skills, but also show that there is room for growth. Here you can see how Sasha moves from architecture to material exploration to apparel. You can see her skills, but you can also see in the dress image, which is on a form rather than a model, where she wants to grow. The images are cohesive in color and design, and she even uses effective titles to show her multidisciplinary approach and her path. My city is my drawing, is my dress. The path is clear and exciting. Tip number 2, make your case with effective images. Consider for the visual arts, Fulbright allows 15 to 20 images. This is generous. Use this to your advantage. But you don't want to tire your reviewers with repeats or throwaways. Every image counts. Every image should help tell a story that supports your purpose and path. You want to show a body of work. Detail shots are great, but don't include too many. One detail shot of an image is fine, but don't keep showing the same piece, and maybe not a detail shot of every piece. Use collaged images sparingly. There needs to be a reason for more than one view or image within an image. Otherwise, it seems like sneaking in additional pieces to gain an advantage. There can be a few collaged images where it makes sense, but too many is overwhelming and diminishes the look of a whole piece as a single image. Consider showing your work in its environment, on a wall, in a studio, in a gallery, or in an installation space, or an event. Not for each piece, but maybe 1 to 2 at the end of your portfolio. This view provides reviewers perspective and gives them insight into your broader intentions and vision. Consider 1 to 2 images that show process and or collaboration, especially if this is important to your work or is an aspect of your proposed Fulbright project. You could include a work in progress to show your area of growth if it makes your case in some way. This needs to be limited, of course, as complete works are important. Maybe include 1 to 2 in-progress pieces at most. The Riverside piece Sasha included shows her architecture and design side. The collage makes sense here as she is including it to show process and collaboration, which is important in her work. For the beautiful urban mark piece, she included 1 full image and 1 detail image. The detail shot is really needed to see the material and dye close up. And Sasha even has an effective touch in the title, Urban Mark, highlighting the connection of her architecture design training and ways of thinking to her fine arts practice. Tip number 3, engage your reviewers. Consider how your work might be reviewed to an untrained eye and consider that your images also act as a cultural ambassador. What will people of the host country think of your work? Take advantage of the opportunity to explain your work in the portfolio narrative and image descriptions. Use those image descriptions. Non-artists will really appreciate them. They want to know how you did this, what you were thinking. And considering all the proposals reviewers are reading one after the other, your reviewers will appreciate the opportunity to learn something new about art process and technique. Reviewers of all various backgrounds could connect to Sasha's work. There's something for everyone, yet they all connect. You can see her weaving with her material experimentation. You can see her designing with her weaving and materials. You can see her applying her designs and adding her plant and gardening interests. You can see the imprint of the plants and dyes in her beautiful fabrics. And her titles help bring it all together, even making a Fulbright mission hit. The world is interwoven. She also uses her image descriptions effectively to explain what she does, why, and how. This description space was particularly helpful to her as a multidisciplinary artist. She used the space to explain how this all connected for her and prepared her for a proposed project and the next stage in her growth. Finally, tip number 4, provide an experience. Your portfolio should be a visually pleasing experience. Don't only think about each piece, think about the portfolio overall. Curate your portfolio, your choices, their order, and the quality of the documentation. It's all very important. A curated portfolio shows organized thinking and thoughtfulness. Through your portfolio, you can show reviewers that you really care about this application and therefore your project. Your portfolio should be cohesive in some way, in any way. Don't resign to chronological order. Really consider how the pieces flow from one to the next. Multidisciplinary artists, and there are many of you out there, often start their Fulbright portfolio work scratching their head. How? My work is so varied. Maybe cohesiveness is a material or shape or size or color or even background color, something. Again, think about your reviewers, artists, and non-artists' overall experience. Start and end strong. Consider the middle is where a reviewer might fade. Start with something to capture their attention and get them excited to see what's next. End with an image you want them to keep on their mind as they review the other parts of your application. Also, consider that in a group review session, your last image may stay up on that screen as they talk about your application. Maybe print each image you are considering on half sheets of paper and taping them to a wall so you can stand back and really look at them and then move them around to find that compelling flow. The movement through Sasha's portfolio, through the colors, shapes, and textures of each image flowed and connected her interests, like a dance. Her beginning and ending pieces were bookends. A first image, an installation piece, wove together nature and textiles. Her last image, a stunning piece, wove in dance. You can easily see her project come to life in which she would collaboratively create dance costumes. And even the walls behind the dress in this last image help make her case. The walls are unfinished. She isn't finished. Fulbright would be an opportunity for her to grow. I hope these tips have you thinking and asking yourself lots of good questions. Thank you.